Ah, St. Denis Cemetery. Best view in the city. It's just a shame none of the residents can enjoy it. I think I'm buried around here.
Oops, I didn't mean to click it. Sorry. Is Bill buried here somewhere?
This just goes to show you can't take it with you, so you might as well spend it all on a giant tomb. I don't know him. Must be a recent addition to the force. Well, at least he won't recognize you.
Alright, so that's cop. They did say cops would be swarming this place.
Nice view of the river from up here. You can hardly even see the cloud of smog over the chum. The plaque says Harrison. Doesn't look very opulent, so I guess it doesn't belong to anyone important. Looks like people have left markings and offerings in front of this tomb. You may think it's a silly superstition, but I wish you'd leave a bottle of Bollingworth at my grave every now and then.
Alright, I can't look at any of the little thingies. Okay, I guess we're talking to Mr. Police Officer.
Good day to you, officer.
Good day, sir. How may I be of assistance?
Nice day for a walk. I need to get into the tomb. Let's get chummy with the guy.
Sure is a nice day to be walking around the cemetery, wouldn't you agree?
I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. Personally, the noise those bugs are making is starting to drive me crazy.
Now that we're friends, can you let me in the tomb?
Would you mind letting me in the tomb, please?
Afraid I can't do that, sir.
Oh, come on.
This tomb is currently part of a police investigation and ain't available for visits until further notice.
Whatever. But it's my dear departed aunt. I think I saw someone being mugged. Oh, that's not going to work. I don't really have a lot of good options here. He's not going to fall for any of this, is he?
I think I saw someone being mugged.
I think we're
at the
meant to
front
fail
entrance.
these.
Nice try, sir, but that's clearly a bunch of bull. You're just trying to get me to step away so you can go inside the tomb.
I figured as much.
What? No, I would never do such a thing.
In any case, there's another officer stationed at the entrance, so if there was somebody being mugged, he'd see it for sure.
Well,
Fair
at
enough.
the very least, it's nice to see the department is hiring competent officers who aren't easily fooled.
All right, let's try the
Good day to
birthday.
you, officer.
Afraid I ain't got time for idle
Whoa!
chat, sir. Please, move along.
Don't tell me that I screwed up again. It doesn't put up another roadblock, does it? Oh, no.
This just goes to show you can't take it with. If only that police officer wasn't guarding the tomb, you could go in there and raid it to your heart's content.
I want to raid the tomb. All right. Well, poop. I've made errors, apparently. Investigate the tomb, but it still says investigate the tomb. So I don't think I've made a grave error. Yuck.
Nice view of the.
Oh, right click brings that up. Okay, good to know.
Good day to you, officer.
Afraid I ain't got time for idle chat, sir. Please, move along.
So I need to distract them somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do that here. I'm not sure what I do next. I can always go home and ask the wife. Scare him? Maybe. Let's confront, Juliet about her apartment.
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham. Not at all.
Yep. I want answers. Oh, okay, we'll just hop right to ethericity.
Do you know anything about ethericity, Miss Montgomery?
You surprised me, Mr. Fordham. I had no idea someone of your profession would know or care about something like that.
I've found that it pays to be open-minded.
To answer your question, yes, I am familiar with the theory of ethericity. In fact, it's recently become a focus of my studies. Despite what the newspapers have been reporting, it's already possible to access it in small quantities from the air around us.
Have you conducted any experiments?
No, my research has been purely theoretical. I don't have the means to do anything practical, I'm afraid.
Deceiver, dissembler, her trousers are alight. I can't understand why Juliet might not want to make her research public, though.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bill. I'm with you. Andrew, did we not do Andrew?
What can you tell me about your brother?
Andrew, Mama's precious little boy. If you've met him, you pretty much know all you need to. He's had the whole world handed to him on a silver platter. But he's in for a rude awakening someday. Mother can only provide for him for so long.
Miss Montgomery, please don't lie to me. I know you've been conducting experiments with ethericity. I've seen the room you're renting on Forest Lane.
What? But how?
Found a key in your spare room. Your brother told me about the experiments. Ooh. I wouldn't be very good at my job if I didn't... Yeah, let's do this. This is evasive.
I wouldn't be very good at my job if I didn't find things out, Miss Montgomery. Now please, drop the act and tell me about your experiments.
Fine. I've been researching etheric effects on living organisms. I'm planning on presenting my discoveries to the board once I make more progress. So far, I've managed to discover that plant growth is accelerated significantly. It's given me quite the advantage in class.
But isn't that cheating?
You have no idea how difficult it's been for me to be taken seriously, Mr. Fordham. No matter how hard I tried, my work wasn't valued on its own merits by my peers or professors. I fought hard to get where I am. I wasn't about to lose all that just because some pig-headed idiots didn't think my best was good enough.
Damn.
That sounds awfully familiar.
Yeah.
What about your notes on the effects of ethericity on animals?
Oh, those aren't complete. I haven't tested the effects on anything larger than flies. Those experiments were mainly to satisfy my curiosity, but they have little to do with my actual research.
Curiosity? Seems like a lot of effort to go to just to answer a question. But then, I never really understood these scientific types.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
So who do you think... Alright, at this point, chat, who do you think is the one that tried to kill Madame Dupree? Or killed Madame Dupree before she was reanimated into whatever she is now? I have, Well, it's hard to say for me. I'm not sure who I would pick. But I want to hear what you guys would say. We got evidence pointing to her. I mean, she's doing the experiments of ethericity, and it looks like whatever she's using was probably used on her mother. However, the son is a prick, and pricks do pricky things. The boyfriend's mother, the voodoo queen, she has motive. You did because you're crazy. The parrots? The parrot? I don't think the parrot did. It would be hilarious if it did. I'm going to say the doctor did it. Only because in Stargate, the doctor was the one who ended up doing it. But we'll see. I don't know. If I'm being serious, Juliet sounds just as guilty as Andrew. I don't think it's the voodoo queen. But I think it's going to be probably Juliet or Andrew. We'll see. Where am I going now? The jail. No, you know what? Let's go talk to the kid in jail.
Could I ask you some more questions, Mr. Martin?
It's not like I'm going anywhere.
Exactly.
Albert, did you hate Madame Dupree?
The woman is cruel, sadistic, and bigoted. When she found out about my relationship with Juliet, she sent me a letter threatening to have me killed if I got near her house or her daughter. So yes, Mr. Fordham, I hated her. But even so, I love her daughter. I wouldn't be so cruel as to take Juliet's mother away from her, even if she hated her too.
I beg your pardon?
Juliet and her mother didn't get along at all. I never asked why, but it was obvious there was something going on.
Intriguing.
Yeah. That's what I thought too.
That's all for now.
An unknown person? I don't know. It would be kind of weird. It would be kind of weird to introduce an unknown person at the last minute as the guilty party, right? I would think that we've already met this person. Investigate the Chesterton tomb. Find a stimulant to bring Andrew out of his stupor. Discover the source of Juliet and her mother's rift. Do I have to go back to Juliet? I guess we do. Let's go back to Juliet. Hello, was that? Did you see that? I'll show you guys in a second.
That's not to bother until we have something to ask her.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. The circle that was over here is gone. I don't remember what it was. What was it? Oh, the apartment. I can't go back to the apartment for whatever reason. She's still here! Alright, hold on. I want to talk to her again. Why is she still drinking coffee?
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
Can I run something? Oh, okay. Well, with this...
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Okay, what have you got?
Aha! There we go. Help me
I
out.
seem to have hit a roadblock. There's an officer posted at Dupre's family tomb, and he won't let me in.
Makes sense. Who's the officer?
I've never seen him before. He's young, has a small scar over his left eye, and a distinct Dixie accent.
Ah, yes, that would be Officer Grant. He's only been with the department for about 2 months. I don't know a lot about him, but he's already got the reputation for being the type of policeman who'd go out of his way to help old ladies cross the street. Typical Southern gentleman, it seems. Perhaps you can use that to your advantage?
Okay. I need an old lady then. Can you provide me with one?
Madame Dupre's son isn't being very helpful.
Is he refusing to talk?
More like incapable. The family doctor has him pretty well drugged to the gills. I need to find some way to perk him up.
Well, you know, we are in a coffee house.
I have a feeling it will take something a touch more powerful than coffee. That's enough about the case for now.
Okay,
That's it, I think.
then you'd better get back to it.
Can't I order an Americano? Won't that do it? Although, would it be called an Americano here?
So what do you think will happen if this ethericity stuff turns out to be real?
Honestly, nothing. The rich will stay rich, and the poor will stay poor.
That's a pretty dark way of seeing it.
Uh-huh.
They're saying it'll improve everyone's lives.
They'd say that about eating rat poison if they thought it meant earning an extra crown.
Well, I prefer to think positive. Who knows? Maybe someday I'll have my hand back.
Speaking of red herring, do you remember Scooby-Doo kids? Speaking of red herring was an actual item in Monkey Island.
IGA vigil tonight?
Nah, I heard Harris is gonna be giving a speech. There's no way I could look that man in the face.
You know it's not his fault, right? I think he's getting an unfair reputation.
If he cared enough to make sure the airship was safe, it never would have crashed. He's as much at fault as anyone.
You really should go. Eliza would have wanted it, I think.
I know, you're right. I'll think about it.
Good. You did that. Espresso would go down faster? Alright. We need an old lady for that. Where am I going to get an old lady? Hello, old lady.
Welcome back, Mr. Fordham.
I want to talk to you.
She's not going to be much help right now.
Oh.
That's not to bother her.
All right. I do like that it tells me that I've done everything I can do here at the moment, at least. Okay, well, she's not going to help me out. Will my wife help me out?
I've managed to survive the wild streets of New Britannia.
It's always nice to see you walk through that door.
Will you play a damsel in distress for me?
Addie,
Yes, dear?
do you know anything about Madame Dupre?
I've read that the Dupreys are one of the few wealthy families that exclusively employ real people to serve. Rather commendable, don't you think?
Yes.
So it is
Makes it
employ.
even more baffling why she was attacked. Have you heard any gossip from your clients? Anything about who might have wanted to harm her?
Nothing. She's held in the highest regard by the other Grand Dames. If she had actually died, I'd have expected them to petition her canonization.
Aha!
I was wondering if you could do me a favor.
What is it?
There's an officer posted in front of Madame Dupre's family tomb, and I need to get a look inside. Could you use your wiles and charm to distract him?
My wiles and charm,
Well, you are irresistible, darling. I'm sure he wouldn't turn away a lady in need. Say you've gotten lost in the cemetery and ask him to show you the way out.
Should we really be tricking a police officer like that?
There's no harm in it, and I won't be but a moment inside. It's in a good cause.
All right, let's go then.
I'm leaning towards Juliet because of the mulatto comments.
Excuse me, officer. I was wondering if you could help me?
What do you want?
I seem to have gotten all turned around. Do you have any idea how to get to the front gate?
My suggestion would be to turn around and head back the way you came.
Yes, I've tried that, but I seem to just be going in circles. Perhaps you could point me in the right direction?
Going
Stop
in circles.
right there. That's quite enough from you.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah.
Don't think I can't tell what your game is. You're trying to lure me away from here and into some alley where your gang of Sambos is gonna rob me blind. Exactly how many of them have you got lying in wait for poor unsuspecting fools you bring them?
Just one.
Bam!
And he doesn't appreciate you talking to his wife that way.
Right.
You know, Miles, sometimes I forget how absolutely delightful it is to watch you lose your head.
Miles, was that really necessary?
I'm sorry, Addie. You know how I get with people whose minds are full of that rubbish.
Let's just get him out of sight before this lands both of us in jail. That bush over there should work.
So, I know
To
something.
say, I wasn't expecting assaulting a policeman to be on today's activity list.
It'll be fine. When you're on the force as long as I was, you can pretty much get away with murder.
Well, it's been fun, but I need to take my wiles and charm over to my appointment with Mrs. Lefebvre. I'll see you at home later, dear. Try to stay out of trouble.
So, for those of you who don't know, a Sambo and a mulatto, they're racist terms. Mulatto is a mixed race person, usually black and white. Sambo I think has been used for both just a black person and a mixed person. But yeah, we're finding a few people here are a little bit racist.
That nest is full of eggs. But where's the mother bird?
Perhaps she abandoned it.
Always assuming the worst, aren't you, Miles?
Take the eggs.
What a dramatic statue. I'm rather surprised no one has defaced it. Hang on. You don't suppose this is...
Is what? An angel? It's a fallen angel. Is this Lucifer?
Surprise, surprise! A hidden compartment with a stash of pills inside.
Oh, okay.
Seems Mr. Montgomery has a little business on the side.
Nice. Weird, but nice.
These crypts are reserved for future generations of Chestertons to rot in.
There are only 3 left.
Then let's hope the Chestertons aren't opposed to spending eternity cozied up to one another. This must be what was going to be Madame Dupre's final resting place.
I don't see anything inside.
What, were you expecting a note from her attacker?
No, but I was hoping for some kind of clue at the very least.
Okay. Nothing new?
I have to admit, it's a fairly ingenious hiding spot.
I suppose.
That nest is full of eggs. But where's the mother bird?
Perhaps she abandoned it.
Always assuming the worst, aren't you, Miles?
Do I bring the parrot in here at some point, perhaps? Okay, so what do we got here? Investigate the Chesterton tomb, which has not been checked off. Find a stimulant to bring Andrew out of his stupor. Discover the source of Juliet and her mother's rift. Oh! How do I use... Can I use an item? Wait.
That nest is full of...
Perhaps she abandoned...
Always...
I'm worried I won't be able to come back here very easily. Alright, I think I'm bolting. Let's go talk to Andrew. I think it's Juliet. Juliet already disliked her mom, right? The mom was racist. We know that much. And, Juliet was in an interracial relationship. And mom did not like that. So mom tried to do something about it, and perhaps Juliet either retaliated or struck first or something. That's what I'm thinking so far.
I have some questions for you. Oh, goody.
Oh, shut up and just take some pills.
You'll never believe what I found in your family's tomb.
Oh? Was it a ghost?
No, it was these vigor pills. You wouldn't happen to know how they got there, would you?
I see you really are good at your job, aren't you, Mr. Fordham?
Mm-hmm.
Look, Andrew, I'm in no mood for games.
What are you doing? What you're doing is highly illegal. I have no choice but to report you. I'm willing to overlook your unlawful activities in exchange for your cooperation. Just be quiet and take one of these pills. Oh boy. I have been poor at making choices so far this game, chat. At least that's the impression I'm getting. I like this one though.
I'm willing to overlook your unlawful activities in exchange for your cooperation.
Fine, but you have to understand, I'm not exactly feeling myself right now.
I understand perfectly, which is why I need you to take one of these pills.
Yep.
I suppose one would help. Thank you.
Pink Knuckle Girl, this game is good and bad?
Goodness, I always forget
I'm
how fast
enjoying
those
it.
pills work. My heart is racing. You said you had questions, didn't you? Well, go on, ask them already. We mustn't waste any more time.
Well, that seems to have done the trick. I just hope we haven't doomed him to a heart attack.
Oh, what's up, Mamani? Long time no see. It's a classic point-and-click adventure game. I'm rather enjoying it.
That's a rather exotic bird you've got.
Yes, Ray is nice when he's quiet. But get him started and it's tough to shut him up.
Who trained him?
I think he already knew some phrases when Mother bought him. She's managed to teach him a few new ones, though.
Are you into point-and-click games, Amani? Is that your thing?
So, you're running some kind of pill business on the side.
I'm providing a service, Mr. Fordham. Not everyone in this life is as lucky as I am. People pay top crown for luxuries like airship tickets and social club memberships. Medicine should be affordable to all. Dr. Tennyson has a patent on the energy pill formula and thus a monopoly on the market. That means he can charge whatever he wants. Students use these kinds of pills all the time, you know. Academic rigors can be overwhelming, and concentrating can be difficult without help sometimes. I've got the skills and the equipment. If I can replicate the formula, help my fellow students, and sell them at a much more reasonable price, why shouldn't I?
There's the fact that what you're doing is illegal.
Oh, you're starting to sound just like Mother. And just because it's illegal doesn't mean it's immoral. I can think of plenty of examples where the opposite is true.
You're probably the most altruistic person I've met all month.
The sad part is it's true.
Yep. This one is a bit of a cheesy script, but that's the charm of many of them. A bit. I mean, point and clicks can get that way, I guess. I suppose. The dev is here. Oh, as long as you're being honest, man. What do you like about the game so far?
What can you tell me about your sister, Juliet?
Juliet, smart as a whip and just as forgiving. She's a fighter, that one. Despite being the only woman in her class, she's managed to rank at the top.
Impressive.
I only wish Mother was more accepting of Juliet going to university. But you don't want to hear about boring family matters, I'm sure.
Oh, but family matters are my favorite. It's always so reassuring to know how much worse off everyone else is.
So that's the rift. Okay.
How do you typically spend your days, Mr. Montgomery? What are your interests?
I study pharmacology at the university. I'll be graduating next year if all goes well. I just hope Mother has recovered enough by then to understand what's going on. She and Jean were so proud of me when I started university. I'd be so disappointed if she couldn't see me finish.
I still think it's Juliet.
I take it Jean is your stepfather.
He is. Mother married him 5 years after my father died of consumption.
My condolences. Do you have a good relationship with him?
Not terribly. Truth is, I hardly ever see him. In fact, before the funeral, I hadn't seen him at all this month.
Where is he now?
I don't know for certain, but it seems likely he's at his hunting cabin.
His hunting cabin?
Yes, he often goes there. It's his way of leaving polite society behind and spending time with his thoughts. Considering what Mother just went through, well, I would guess that's where he's gone.
Okay.
Although, to be honest, I don't know why he's not here with Mother in her time of need.
Why do people run away from their problems instead of facing them? Why, Miles?
Do you know where this cabin is?
Afraid not. I don't share his passions, so I never cared much to accompany him on his outings.
Okay, so we gotta perhaps find the cabin. I still don't think it's him. I'm still leaning towards Juliet. Okay.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
I can't believe anyone would be so cruel as to do what that wretched bastard Martin did to her. Mother is kind and generous, and everyone loves her. She's even good enough to hire actual people to do the housework. Not many wealthy families do that, you know. They just use automated machines or hire servants to operate the manual ones.
Servants?
What's your relationship with the servants like?
Relationship? I don't have one with them. They're servants. Mother always made it clear that they weren't part of the family, just help. We've only got 2 on staff right now, though, the kitchen girl and the gardener.
You may be right, Diesel. You may be right. They're introducing a guy late in the game, or late in the story. At least it feels late. And, I mean, we've already knew of him, but it feels like we're about to meet him soon, right? So you could be right. I could have been completely, totally wrong.
What exactly were the circumstances leading up to your mother's supposed death?
A few days ago, I arrived home from school and found her collapsed on the floor. She wasn't breathing, so I immediately contacted Dr. Fellows. He examined her and pronounced her dead. We were all completely shocked. I was devastated. She'd been in fine health. In fact, she'd just been out riding that morning. You can imagine our surprise at the funeral when she sprang back to life.
Like the reanimator. You think he's dead? You're probably right. We're going to go out to the cabin and his ass is going to be buried in the back.
How is it you know Albert Martin?
He works at the greenhouse where my sister Juliet does her research. The 2 of them were involved romantically, and Mother didn't like that at all. I heard their fights. They were ghastly.
What exactly made you suspect he was the one responsible for what happened to your mother?
Well, I mean, it's obvious, isn't it?
She's been reanimated.
His mother's a notorious voodoo witch. Those people do all sorts of awful things to our kind. It's all out of spite, you know. He knew Mother disapproved of his relationship with Juliet, so he plotted to get rid of her.
Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
Man, and the police arrested his ass off of that? God. Parrot, what do you got to say about this?
Polly want a cracker?
No, thank you. Rock.
Nothing, eh? All right.
So long, Birdie.
Rock. Bye-bye.
All right, so what do we got going on here? Investigate the tomb again. Discover the source of Juliet and her mother's rift. I thought we did that. And locate Jean Dupre's hunting cabin. Don't forget he's black. Who? The son? Right, well that's the whole thing. She doesn't like... She's used words like mulatto. She's been proven a racist.
Doctor, may I ask you a few questions?
The mom.
Please
her.
be my guest.
Oh!
Tell me what you know about Jean Dupre.
I'd rather not speak of him. Madame Dupre does not need to be agitated any further.
I take it you don't look very favorably upon him, then.
I'll just say this. If my wife had been attacked and left for dead, you can be sure I wouldn't leave her side.
What a gentleman. He doesn't even leave women who aren't his wife.
I see what you mean. Do you know where I might find him?
I only wish I did.
Those are all the questions I've got for now.
I hope I answered them adequately.
That's why they threw him in jail over next to nothing. Oh, you're saying that... you could be right. That could be it. That he's thrown in jail because he's black. Alright. Well, we don't know where the hunting cabin is. Obviously, it's going to be out here somewhere, right? Maybe in Lion? I don't know. But probably. Maybe Connie will tell us. Or maybe she has connections that could tell us.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Maybe.
Okay, what have you got?
Jean!
I'm having a bit of trouble locating Jean Dupre. I know he has a hunting cabin in the swamp, but it could be anywhere.
The swamp is fairly big. It can be hard to locate just one cabin.
I suppose it would make sense to ask someone in his family about it. That's enough about the case for now.
Oh!
Okay.
That's it, I think.
Then you'd better get back to it.
The game's like, no, you went to the wrong place, you jerk. Well, that leaves us like one person, right? Hello, Juliet. We'd like to know where your stepfather, is he step? Where's your stepdad?
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham. Not at all.
Jean Dupre, where does he live?
Is there anything you can tell me about your stepfather, Jean?
He's a kind man. I don't really see him too often.
Interesting.
He seemed rather upset at Mother's funeral, but I can't help but wonder if he feels the same way as I do about her death.
What do you mean?
Just that I get the distinct impression that he and Mother's marriage isn't as perfect as they'd like it to appear.
I don't trust her.
I'm starting to sense a trend here.
I don't trust her.
Your brother told me that Jean enjoys hunting. Do you know where his cabin is?
Yes, it's in Fenton Swamp. I went out there with him a few times, but I didn't really enjoy it. Frankly, the place is rather grotesque. All those stuffed trophies staring at you with their cold, dead eyes. Plants are much nicer to have around. Anyway, if you take the main road through the swamp, about 1.5 miles, you'll come upon a small dirt path that goes northeast. Take that until you see a small cabin on the left. That's it.
Thank you for the information, Miss Montgomery.
All right.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Settle down. Don't need to shoo me off. I still have the tomb up here and discover the source of Juliet and her mother's rift. I still feel like I did those things, but maybe I did not. Okay, I've already decided I want this game. I may stop watching to avoid more spoilers. The game is not out yet, and we're not playing throughout the entire game. We're playing through one case, and the game, I think, has 5 cases total, I believe. Something like that. But, yeah, Grundislav is the dev, by the way, Amonti. And he said he's aiming for a September release. Just so you know, every case has multiple possible suspects. So just because you see something here doesn't mean you'll have the same experience. Interesting. All right, let's go out here.